The vehicle that we're gonna use for this lunch is the Calzone, because I like to have something encapsulated when I'm carrying it to work. So I thought we'd make an Italian combo Calzone, because then it'll be good at any temperature, and everyone loves an Italian combo. Life can be a struggle, but a good meal doesn't have to be. We can make creative, nutritious, and inventive dishes that won't break the bank. We'll eat well and save money, because that's what we do. Welcome to Struggle Meals. So we want to make sure we have all our toppings before we get our dough all rolled out. It just makes for a more efficient assembly line. So let's head over to the herb garden to get some flavors going. We got basil and parsley. And I'm just gonna take a scissor and cut them right into a bowl. We're gonna use these fresh herbs to jazz up our cheese. We're gonna go in with ricotta now. Ricotta is a super soft cheese. It's delicious, it's salty. A little pepper and some salt. Some of the things we're not putting in this dish are mozzarella, for example, because mozzarella at room temperature coagulates. Coagulated mozzarella is like biting into something that's rubbery. It's just not as pleasing as when it's oozing hot. But the ricotta is not gonna suffer from that because it's got such a higher water content, it doesn't really coagulate, which is great. Beautiful. Let's roll out these doughs. Take some flour, put it on a countertop, something like that. You could make pizza dough. You could buy it from your local pizza shop. They sell it frozen in the grocery stores, or you could make it yourself. Just use any pizza dough. We'll take one of these doughs, we'll sprinkle a little more flour, particularly on the moist cut side. Now, we've got a half moon shape happening here. If we just start working this, that shape is going to extrapolate out. So if we take it and put it on its side this way, at least it's symmetrical. And now I introduce the struggle rolling pin. Chianti Classico. We're gonna give this a little roll out and back. The reason we don't wanna form a ball with this is because we're gonna be like creating new gluten and then it won't stretch at all. This dough has been out of the fridge for a while. You know, when it's ice cold, it tends not to wanna stretch so much, so you definitely wanna let it rest out at room temperature. But keep in mind, the longer it's at room temperature, the more it's gonna start rising again. So, and now we'll start building our calzone, which roughly translates to large sock. Fill up the sock. So, let's start with the ricotta. Leave some room on the edge so that the dough can stick to itself as it folds over. And now, we've got some salami. Go with these drier ingredients that still hold moisture within, but won't ruin the dough as it sits in your lunchbox. Provolone. I'll tell you this, I would stay away from tomato sauce because that's just gonna make the whole thing soggy. Pepperoncini, roasted red peppers, olives. Let's close up our calzone. We're coming up and over, and we're just gonna pinch it around the edges. And I'm gonna go right onto our tray. All right, let's get a second one. These toppings are totally customizable, so you can make everybody happy. If someone doesn't like spice, leave out the pepperoncini. If another one wants extra olives, you just make sure you charge them an extra 50 cents. Just kidding, give them the olives. We don't have a high water content in our calzone, but I think it's a safe bet just to cut the slits in the top anyway. It's time to pop these in the oven, 425 for about 25 minutes. All right, our calzones look beautiful. It's really important that before we wrap them up, we allow them to cool because otherwise there's gonna be a steam situation and you're gonna have a soggy wrapper and that's no good, it's gonna be a disaster. So let them cool. Let's wrap these up like little presents because that's what they are. At least that's what it'll feel like at lunchtime. All right, the perfect little parcel to take to work. It's so easy and practical in every single way. Or you could just put it in a traditional container. To the lunchbox! Put the napkin on top, close it up. I'm off. What a busy morning. I'm starving. Got our calzone. All right. It's delicious. It's an Italian combo in a calzone. How could you go wrong with this? It's spicy, it's juicy, it's acidic. The dough is fantastic. The Italian combo calzone is coming in at $2.48 a serving. Not only are these the perfect flavors, but this vehicle is the perfect lunch.